Why did I decide to be a pastor? I can't tell you that I actually truly made this decision. I believe it was a calling on my life that God gave me before I was ever born. I think about in Jeremiah chapter 1, where he tells Jeremiah, before you were born, I knew you. Before I formed you in the womb, I set you apart. And when I think about that, he set Jeremiah apart for a certain purpose. The same thing I believe God gives with each and every purpose, each and every person. Now this is important. Now he set Jeremiah apart for a purpose. I believe God does this with each and every person. He gives us an individual purpose, an individual calling in our lives to pursue and go after, okay, to build his kingdom. And whatever vocation you choose, you can be Christian. You can live out your life the right way and do what God asks you to do. Now, the reason I say I know I didn't choose this because when I was a young man, even as a kid, I never thought about being a pastor. I was kind of rambunctious doing my own thing. I never kind of wanted to be, called a man of the cloth or even a pastor, because that just wasn't me growing up. That wasn't even me as a young man. But in my early 20s, I believe I started to understand that I had a calling in my life to become a pastor. As I used to sit there and read the Bible and understand more about God, even though I was still living that heathen life, I knew on the inside of me, I needed to do this. I don't know another way to say it. It was like, as Jeremiah says, there's fire. Your word is fire. Shut up in my bones. I knew when I took God's word in, and I knew I needed to understand it so I could teach others about it. And so that's really all I can tell you about it. I had made a call to one of my friends who was a pastor before me, and I had asked him because I really want to know myself. How did you understand that you were called to be a pastor? He says, one day I was walking with my friends after a basketball game, and he said he decided to ask them, have any of you guys ever want to preach the word or talk to people about God? And everybody was like, oh man, heck no, not at all. What's wrong with you? He says, I didn't say nothing too much there, but I knew on the inside of me that God had called me to preach, and God had called me to be a pastor. He says, from then on, I started studying, and I put myself through school. He says, I had this eagerness to learn more about God's word, and this eagerness to learn more about teaching so I could teach others. That same eagerness, I didn't say nothing to him right there, but that same eagerness was on the inside of me, and I knew for sure that I was called to be a pastor at that time. So thank you for watching, family. Take care now.